Okay, good news Shabbos, Parshas Chaye Sara, 5778 from this week. We're still in Yerushalayim HaKodesh. So this week we learn. It starts off. Chaye Sara, in the days of Sarah, Meir Shana V'Esrim Shana V'Sheva Shanim, she lived 127 years. And she died. Chaye Sara B'Chaye Sara B'Chevrim B'Eretz Canaan. All the Mefarshim bring down that why is this come right after Parshas Vayera, right after the whole story of the Akedah? Because what the Chazal tell us that when she heard about the Akedah, about Avram Avinu taking Yitzchak to bring him as a carbon, as Hashem told him to, Parcha Nishmasa, her soul left her. And, people say, because of the Akedah she died. So comes along the Pasuk. What does the Pasuk tell us? That no. You should know that the life of Sarah was 127 years, Shnei Chaye Sara, and these were the years for her. Before she was born, Hashem decided exactly how many years He was going to give her, and circumstantially, this is what happened. That she heard about the Akedah and she was nifter, but one has nothing to do with the other. They're not connected, completely disconnected. She's supposed to live X amount of years. She went out hearing about the Akedah. And Avram Avinu understands this. Right? The Pasuk says, Eretz Canaan, Vayovei Avram lispaid l'saro v'liv kaisa. The Chaf is small. The Chaf being small is to tell us he didn't cry more than he was supposed to, more than he should, more than he could. Person loses. He goes. Hashem tells him, take your son to Har Moriah to go shechtim. He goes to do the Ratzon Hashem. He goes to do what Hashem is asking him to do. And he comes back, and in the process his wife died. You'd think he'd be very upset. I'm sure he was very sad. But V'liv Kaisa, he cried for her. But it wasn't out of this world. Because Avram Avinu understood this concept that before Sarah was born, it was Nigzar B'Shemayim how many years she was going to live, and that's how many years she lived. And many people go through nisyanis in life. They go through challenges. And pain is real, and it's very real. Very real. The pain that people go through. And sometimes when a person's nifter, person leaves this world, sometimes a little younger, sometimes a little older, and we start very easy playing the blame game. People start feeling guilty. people start saying, oh, if only it would have been different, if we would have used a different doctor, then maybe that person would still be alive. If we wouldn't have gotten into that taxi, maybe we wouldn't have gotten into that car accident and they'd still be alive. If he wouldn't have been thrown out of school, perhaps he wouldn't have killed himself and still be alive. We don't understand. We do not understand, and I tell you this, someone who experienced this at a very young age. I lost my father. Why? I don't know. Can't answer you that. But we don't need to understand the why. But we have to, what we do need to understand is that there's a Kudsha Brichu who loves us more than anything and more than we can possibly even imagine. And he's the Bori Umanik L'chol HaBruim, who osa v'yaseh L'chol HaMaseh. And the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu could take a person, take a neshama and a nefesh, and go and put him in this world to a specific family with this specific situation, with these parents, that Rebbeinu Shalom can't figure out how to set up this kid with that he shouldn't get angry when someone says something to him. We do not understand why people have to go through what they have to go through here in this world, especially in the Ikvas of the Mashiach, times before Mashiach is coming, when things are in a fast forward mode and a lot of things happen very quickly, and we don't understand it. But what the pasuk is teaching us right here at the beginning is that it's not a hot plate, and it's not an overdose, and it's not this doctor, and it's not this law that decides a person's time in this world. It's nigzar before a person's born exactly how long they're going to be here in this world. That's a gzeira. Our hishtadlus is to daven to Hashem, to be mamtik the gzeira. That however the gezerah falls out, however it has to be, that it should be namtik, and it should be less painful. But the gezerah has to be. And that's set before the person's even born. And that's what Avraham Avinu understood. And that's why it's a viliv kaisa. And that's why it's not an overbearingly, overwhelming, I was in the middle of doing a mitzvah, how dare you, Hashem? That's not what's going on here. This is how long Sarah's going to live, and that's how long she lived. If we could all take this lesson somehow in our lives to try to see that, to accept it as painful and as hard as that may be, to be able to accept zero when it is nigzar, it should never, no one should ever have to be put into a matzav to have to experience that gezerah, but we have to be ready and willing to hear from Avram Avinu how to be Mekabel. Thank you so much for listening. Have a Heilig Azisa Shabbos. And only Suchas.